Hey guys, welcome to another YakFish TV production. I'm Robert Field. I've just arrived at Indian Head Ranch down near Del Rio, Texas, basically on the border of Mexico. And this is going to be our base camp for what I'm pretty sure is going to be one of the greatest adventures of my life. A 5-day kayak fishing and camping trip down the legendary Devil's River. Now the Devil's River is one of the most remote. I just saw the first human that we've encountered in 4 days. Most pristine and one of the wildest rivers in the country. Now this video is probably going to be a little bit longer than the ones you're used to seeing, but I really want to document the entire experience, the challenges along the way. We're going to have to be extremely resourceful on this trip. So come along for the journey. I promise to keep you entertained, and hopefully we all make it out alive and in one piece. We just left the lodge at Indian Head Ranch, and we've got Darren from Amistad Expeditions. Say it to Darren. Yes, sir. And he's taking us down to the Devils. It's only about 40 miles from where we started, but it's going to take us a little over an hour and a half because this isn't exactly a paved roads kind of place. But we're getting close, so we're excited. So while I love my Hobie Outback, it's really not made for shallow rivers and rapids. Fortunately, my good friends over at Mariner Sales in Dallas let me borrow a Wilderness Systems Ride 115, which is much better suited for this type of water. Alright guys, Devil's River day one. Let's go on a journey. So I hadn't been fishing but a couple hours when I started casting at some submerged boulders, and before long I hooked into exactly what we came here for.
Oh yeah, that's a nice one. A nice fish, it's pulling drag. Woo! Oh no, don't lose him. Nice fish. That is by far my best smallmouth right there. That's what we're out here for. It's tough to find smallmouth in Texas, but the Devil's River is one place you can find some nice ones.
It wasn't long before we could hear our first obstacle coming up. Dolan Falls. So our group's having a little debate right now about how to get our kayaks down Dolan Falls. There's two options. The first is to go down river left, over there, drop the kayaks down into that area, use it as a staging area as we get each kayak down, and then just come out. The other option is to go river right, over there, drop the kayaks down once onto this, and then drop them down a second time down there into the water, and then we've got to walk them with ropes all the way around until we get over there where we can actually lower ourselves down and meet up with our kayaks. I think both options seem a little sketchy. We're not sure what to do. We ended up deciding to go down river right because 2 small drops sounded better than 1 big one. said it would be a rite of passage to jump in the boat right there instead of walking it around. That water is not warm. Solid fish. Oh man, the Devil's River is not disappointing. Man, they seem to fight harder here. I don't know if they're feisty or just because it's a rough environment or what, but gosh, this got a bit of a fight. I thought it was gonna be 5 or 6 pounds. Oh, still a nice fish. He won a fight. That was fun.
With daylight fading quickly, it was time to find our campsite for the first night.
So one of the obvious challenges of being out in a kayak for 5 days and filming is keeping your cameras charged. So I bought one of these BioLite stoves that basically you burn a fire and it'll charge your batteries. First we need to build a fire, so we'll start with kindling. Then to get that started, it actually comes with some of these little fire starters. So after you get a flame going, you need to quickly throw in something extremely dry to kind of build up the fire. I like to use this dried out bamboo. So once you've got the fire going, I like to use something a little hardier to keep the flame going, and then you simply plug in your USB into your camera and it'll start charging it. And now it's charging. So I don't know if you can see them, but we've got a flock of buzzards overlooking our camp over there. I think they're placing bets that the Devil's River is going to win this one. The terrain here is just so wild and rugged. I mean, if you were to get in trouble and try to get out of here on foot, I mean, it would take weeks at least. We are really out here. This river is truly an oasis in the middle of nowhere. I hit it.
There's smallmouth hanging down below these rapids. They like all this crazy water because they catch bait fish coming down from the falls. Pretty little smallmouth. They're feisty fish, that's for sure. He felt bigger than that.
So one problem I was continually having on this trip was losing fish. Whether it was smallmouths diving into the rocks and breaking me off, or largemouths jumping into the air and spitting the hook, or me just messing with my cameras and not paying attention, I easily lost as many fish as I caught on this trip.
No! There's so many rocks in this river, he ran me into the rock and came off. Damn, that was a nice fish. Oh. No. Oh.
For the sake of time, I'm not going to show you all of them.
So one of the big challenges on a trip like this is finding fresh water. Obviously we've got the river here, but you don't want to drink straight out of the river. That can ruin your trip in a hurry. So I found this thing on Amazon called a life straw. Basically you just drink straight out of the river and it takes out 99.99% of contaminants. And that way you don't have to carry a bunch of water that's heavy, and on a trip where every pound counts, that's huge. Let's try it out. Not bad. I'll know probably in a few hours whether or not it worked or not. Here's to hoping.
It's a nice one. Oh yeah. Hell yeah! Woo! Oh man, he hit it the second it hit the water. I thought I was hung up on a rock. And then all of a sudden he started peeling drag. Woo! Oh man, that was fun.
So we're 2 days into the trip, and honestly I have not been focusing on fishing that much. I've been filming, just kind of soaking it all in. But luckily I've caught my personal best smallmouth by a landslide and a really nice largemouth. So the quantity hasn't been there so far, but the quality has definitely been there, and the river is not disappointing.
Alright, I think we're at 3-tier falls now. It's time to go scout it out. That looks like a big drop. I mean, we're gonna get real wet. And by the time we get down, that sun will be gone.
This looks intense. So we decided we don't want to tackle these falls tonight. We don't want the last person to have to go down in the dark. This is serious. So we're gonna camp up here and then just wake up in the morning and hit it first thing. This also means we're behind schedule, so we might have to hightail it tomorrow a little bit to catch up, make up ground. But anyways, now we gotta go find somewhere to camp up here.
As we set up camp and got a fire going, we talked about how we didn't really get what the big deal was about this river. The rapids weren't even that bad. We were about to find out exactly what we got ourselves into on day 3.
So one thing that's always really important when you're camping is having a light source so that at night you can see what you're doing. Well, I found these Lumina LED lights made by Yak Gear. They're waterproof and they float and they're extremely bright. And they come with these adhesive magnetic mounts, so you can mount them literally anywhere. I've used them inside of my kayak's cockpit, inside of my tent. They're extremely handy and they're perfect for a trip like this. They've even got a bunch of different lighting modes that you can use for different applications. Maybe even signal for help if something goes wrong.
So since we're out in the desert, while it's been really warm during the days, it's been really cold at night, and we actually really lucked out because we thought there was going to be a fire ban, but it actually got lifted just 2 weeks before we got here. So we have been able to build fires, and it has really saved us. That's Neil warming his backside.
It's amazing how simple things like brushing your teeth can make you feel a lot more human. Alright, Devil's River day 3. We're about to launch and go hit 3-tier falls first thing. We were looking at it yesterday, it looks pretty gnarly, so I've got everything strapped down. Thank the Lord for all these Yak Gear leashes. If I do dump, hopefully I'll keep everything. We'll see.
The night before, we decided to portage our kayaks down 3-tier falls instead of running it. The water was real low and there were boulders sticking up everywhere, and we decided it wasn't worth the risk of someone getting hurt halfway through the trip with no way to call for help.
Here goes nothing. Broke. Almost there. Getting some skin. My front handle actually broke right away, and that's what my rope was attached to. So I put it on the rear handle and just kind of had to hope that it held on, and luckily it did. Woo! Let's keep going.
As I started to catch my breath, I turned around to see Neil's kayak upside down and him floating beside it. We were starting to learn exactly what this river was capable of.
Hey, there's a good platform over here, bud. Behind you, like directly behind you. Right there. You got it? Yeah, you're there. That was no joke.
Apparently day 3 is the day of the rapids.
river takes a lot out of you. Got to keep your energy up. I'm trying to consume calories whenever I can, but with all these rapids we've had today, only limited opportunities. All right, so we're behind schedule, so we're gonna book it before we go find camp. See if we can't make up some ground. It's hard to know where you want to go. It's like a maze.
The next 5 or 6 miles consisted of nothing but rapids, and while we started out the day getting out and scouting each set, we realized how behind schedule we were, so we started just running them right away. We almost paid the price for our impatience as we learned exactly why they call it the Devil's River.
Look out. Feet first! Feet first!
As I started to lose my footing with the water raging over both of us, I told Autumn that she had to get up on the rock next to us.
Oh my God. What a rush. Oh man. You all right? Neil, are you hurt? So needless to say, we were not expecting that. Marcus went down backwards. I followed and got pinned sideways and had water gushing into my kayak. Then I turn around and I see Neil and Autumn both coming down outside of their kayaks. The important thing is nobody got hurt, so it could have turned out way worse. I think I'm about done with rapids for today. I guess I should have known we weren't going to be that lucky. There's already more rapids ahead. full 360. Over here doing tricks.
With the sunlight fading quickly and no decent campsites around, we started to get desperate.
So day 3 was pretty brutal. We had basically rapids after rapids after rapids. Several of us dumped, several of us lost gear. We're all pretty beat up and sore. And then we ran out of daylight, and so now we're camping out on a small slab of rock. So I'm sure we're gonna sleep all right, but it's not gonna be overly comfortable. But we made up some good ground, so tomorrow we'll be able to focus on the fishing and it'll be a little more easy going. So looking forward to day 4.
I just woke up. It's 1 in the morning. I just woke up because I'm freezing. The temperature dropped real quick. This hoorag is saving me right now. In case you were wondering, sleeping on rock is exactly as comfortable as it sounds. That was a long night. Alright, time to break down camp and get day 4 started. Let's catch some fish.
Because the Devil's River is so pristine, the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department has tried real hard to keep it that way. And they implemented a 100% pack in, pack out rule, meaning everything you bring with you on the river, you've got to take with you when you get off, including feces. So we've been going to the bathroom in these wag bags and then putting it in the kayak and taking it with us until we get off. I also brought these to help with the obvious problem with that. I'll do you guys a favor and turn the camera off for this part. As Neil says, 10 pounds lighter, 5 miles an hour faster. Let's get the day started. We've got some serious headwind today. It's gonna make for some tough going and some tough fishing. Fish on. Smallmouth. Beautiful fish. You know, I've never really caught a smallmouth except for a tiny dink one time. They're hard to find in Texas, but we're finding them here. This wind is ridiculous. Not only is it making it hard to make progress, it's just making it hard to fish. I'm basically hopping from rock to rock, sitting put, casting a few times, you know, and then moving on, but it's just a pain. It's not very efficient. I'm over it. Well, it's not making fishing impossible.
Here's Neil with another nice smallmouth.
Nice fish.
Man, they're strong.
Marcus Villanueva catching a nice largemouth bass, and he actually pulled 3 fish out from under that same boulder. He definitely caught the most fish on the trip.
Yeah. So because the water's so clear here, you really want to downsize your baits and you want to go with something pretty realistic. So I'm using things like this little craw. It's on a jig head that makes it stand up, and it's got air bubbles in its claws to make it stand up like it's in defensive position. I mean, this thing, I would eat that. You know, I mean, it looks very realistic. I'm also using swim baits, kind of like this guy. I haven't caught any smallmouth on this, but the largemouth, you can catch them on this. And then by far, the star of the show so far this trip has been a wacky rig Senko, just like this. Just throw it out, let it slowly fall, hit the bottom, and then just twitch, twitch. Let it slowly fall, twitch, twitch. And I've caught smallmouth, largemouth. The 2 biggest fish of the trip so far on days 1 and 2 came off this exact bait. So I haven't untied it yet. I've been throwing it pretty much everywhere. So it's been working so far. The conditions have made it kind of tough to fish, but we're getting on them. So I'm gonna get back to it. No monster, but it's probably hard for their size. Catfish. That's not what I wanted. Got some scarring on him. Like he's had a rough life. Fish on. Woo, that's a drag. Yeah. Oh, no smallmouth, nice. Ah. Oh, yeah, beautiful fish. All right. They love the rocks, so you really got to work them hard to keep them out of the rocks, so they'll break you off.
Some days, the fish are just biting. I was even catching them with my knees.
Fish! That's largemouth. I'll take that. We made it.
Man, what a journey. The Devil's River. I really just can't say enough about this place. The terrain, the wildlife, the river itself, the fishing, it's just truly incredible. This is one of those trips that I really feel like kind of changes you as a person, you know? It's an experience unlike any other. Getting away from the hustle and bustle of everyday life, it's, you know, people don't do it often enough. I'll tell you one thing, it's going to be a long time before I take a hot shower for granted. It's just amazing.
So here we are about 45 minutes before the guy's supposed to pick us up, and the Devil's throwing us one more curveball. The cold front's blowing through, it's raining, and it is freezing. And now we gotta pack up all our stuff and try not to get hypothermia. Should have known it wasn't over yet.
Thank God. I'm ready to go home.
I'd like to thank my 3 companions on the trip, Neil, Marcus, and Autumn. I truly couldn't have made it through this without you guys. The Devil's River is one of the last remaining natural treasures in Texas, but irresponsible visitors and overpumping of groundwater by nearby towns threaten its survival. To learn more about how you can help, visit devilsriverconservancy.org.